So just stopped into one of my favorite spots here, Starbucks. You can see right behind me, coffee in hand. Pretty busy here. It's the town of Steveston, and well, it's actually a village, and the village of Steveston is in the city of Richmond, British Columbia. Used to be a fishing village just by itself. Probably the most southerly, westerly part of Richmond you can get to. There's a lot of water, a lot of fishing boats here. And anyway, the town of Richmond, the city eventually expanded and just sort of swallowed up Steveston, and it became all one. So we'll take a walk around and see the sights. Pretty busy here today. So you can see the Starbucks in behind me there. Yeah, a lot of people around. This place in the summertime, I mean, before the this thing hit the world, I mean, this was just jammed with people every weekend coming down here. A lot of charters for whale watching and that sort of thing. And we're just gonna walk down onto one of the docks here right now. And there's a whale watching place. You can probably see the sign. Be right up there. There, yeah. Anyway, I actually worked here a couple of years ago. Worked every Sunday through the season, which is basically April till October, and drove their little shuttle bus. Well, that was actually part-time job number 2. Plus I had a full-time job. So I was working 7 days a week. And I did that for one season. And then that was enough. I didn't want to lock in my Sundays anymore and miss out on all the good riding. So here we're out on the dock now. And yeah, can see out into the water there. See the mountains off in the distance. One of the fishing boats here. This village was famous for fishing. A lot of Japanese people live here. A lot of people came from Japan back in the day and settled here to fish. And they had a huge cannery here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they were claiming from the boat into the can was like 2 hours or something like that. It was really amazingly fast. So the fish they were canning here was super fresh. And anyway, you can see it's a nice view. So, and of course, once you go out through all the inlets and stuff, you end up in the open Pacific. But just out here, off in the distance, is Vancouver Island, the long, narrow island that goes up and down off the coast of British Columbia. And the whale watching tours would go out into the Strait of Georgia here, which is in between Vancouver Island and the mainland, and go whale watching. Primarily orcas. Once in a while they'd see humpbacks as well. So it was quite a booming industry, but not in 2020. All right, so we'll just walk through the village a little bit. I'm not going to go too far. I'm a rider, not a walker. Anyway, a lot of coffee shops, other blends. Oh, this one actually has indoor seating. Starbucks doesn't. Starbucks stopped all their indoor seating, so got to grab your coffee and head outside. That's a rare sight. Big Canadian flag painted on the side of the building. Not very patriotic up here. We're proud to be Canadian, but You don't see that often. Rarely see flags in front of anybody's house or anything like that. There's another coffee shop, Waves Coffee. And even on a cold day like this, it's warmed up now to about 42 degrees, I guess, but super windy. I mean, it feels probably like it's more like about 36 degrees, I guess. So, shops are still open. A lot of fish and chip shops down here too. Of course, a lot of their fish comes right off the fishing boats here. Not that often it's fresh. Usually the fishermen will freeze it when they're out at sea, bring it back frozen. And here we're just coming up Fisherman's Wharf. Most of the fishing boats are tied up around here. And a lot of restaurants. Pier Deli, I've eaten in there a few times. It's pretty good. Sockeye City Grill. This is where the fishing boats tie up, and you can usually come down here and buy fish right off the boats themselves. So you can see some of the boats are open down there. People buying fish off the boats. Again, they'd be frozen. They freeze them out at sea, bring them back, and then sell them off the boats. You can get pretty good fish for a really good price. And that right there is a floating fish and chip restaurant. And it's actually good. I've eaten there a few times too. You can see there's actually quite a few people down here even today. It's an awesome place. Of course, it's nicer in the summer. See, my camera's shaking a bit there because I'm shaking. It's freaking cold out here, man. The wind is just super cold. And that's the cannery there, that whole building. It's closed now. It's not an active cannery anymore. It's open as a museum sort of thing. So I've actually never been in it. Maybe one of these days. It's one of those things, you know, that when you live at a place, you sort of don't bother with attractions like that. It's funny. But when you go visit somewhere, you go in every little attraction shop there is. There's that floating restaurant again down there. Good fish and chips, man. Yeah, I'll be glad to get back on my bike and get riding, plug in my heated vest and get warm. So that's just a little view of it. Again, I'm not going to walk around the whole village. It probably goes for about 4 blocks in each direction away from the water. But like I say, I'm not going to walk around the whole thing. It is cold out here. It's not stopping the people though. Well, there we are. Back to Starbucks. Gonna head in there, use their indoor plumbing. You know what they say. Coffee in, coffee out. Okay. That's gonna be it for this day. Be safe. Talk to you later.